Welcome to Some Stutter Luh.
Newfoundland and Labrador's first podcast.
It's about communicating differently.
I'm Paul.
I'm Laura.
I'm Greg. I'm a person who stutters. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
In today's episode, we're going to be looking at an interview that Greg did with Ronan Corr, a person who stutters and a strong advocate for disability-based accessibility.
I've known Ronan now for a number of years. We're going back since the early 90s now, and Ronan is a professional website designer, and Ronan has a stutter, and he also has health issues related to his stuttering. So he sort of has experienced a lot of challenges related to not only his communication challenges, but also his health challenges. But he's self-employed, and Ronan has developed a new web design for accessibility for the disabled. And so during our conversation, Ronan really presented his PowerPoint presentation. I was very impressed with it. And if you want more information about Ronan's accessibility, check out his PowerPoint presentation, and his link is to his PowerPoint presentation.
We'll include the link in the description box below, both to Ronan's presentation, and if anybody's interested in the services that he offers based on this interview or based on checking out the PowerPoint presentation, we'll include a link to Ronan's business as well, because he does consulting, doesn't he, Greg?
He certainly does.
I was going to say the interview is less an interview and more of a presentation of accessibility, web accessibility, some do's and do nots. If you are a web designer yourself, you may take away some important points from this presentation, and if you're not, then maybe you'll come to learn a little bit more about web design.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg, you were telling me earlier off camera that you and Ronan are alumni of the same program.
Ronan and I go back, we have a history, and Ronan and I both took the Fluency Plus program, which is an intensive program for people who stutter, through the Speech and Stuttering Institute in Toronto. And, compared to when I initially met Ronan and compared to after the program, he really has improved a great deal, and he's really has managed his severe stuttering, and but he's a strong advocate for the stuttering community, and he is a wonderful person to have as a friend. He's also married with one young child, and he's, as I was saying, Ronan is somebody that is resilient, persistent. He's gone through a lot of highs and lows, but that will come through eventually. But Paul was right that, and Laura was right that this conversation is mainly a presentation about his new design program.
So if you're interested in how you can make your website more accessible, check out the description box below. If you're interested in hiring a consultant to help you with accessibility, check out the description box below. Ronan was also featured on our podcast previously in Season 1, Episode 11, and we'll also provide a link to that in the description box below. And last but not least, and I'm going to wear myself out, but I'm going to say it again, please, if you like this content, if you like this video, if you want to support the podcast, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss anything, because we've got a lot of good stuff coming still this season. So let's head to the video, and let's see what Greg and Ronan have to say.
So what is the web accessibility? Well, the web accessibility refers to the process of designing and developing the web device so that they can be used by everyone, including people with disabilities. This involved in serving people with various of impairment, such as visual, auditory, and motor and cognitive disability, can perceive, understand, and navigate and interact with the web effectively. Effectively. Why is it important? So everyone is included. So a website, behind a website is the structure of the web page, and that benefits the users with disabilities. A typical HTML layout structure in, includes for, for a header and navigation, a main production area, as wide bar, and a footer. A person who uses a screen reader who are who for those who are blind, the screen reader will read out these areas to help the user know where they are. Another good example is to organize all the content on a website, and that's including headings. So the heading can guide a screen reader, the user, to know what the page is about. Screen reader users can full press the HT to cycle through all the headings on a web page. And also the heading, there are different types. There's 6 types of headings. Age for 1 to age 6. And they help will break up the website. So the age one is a main heading, and I deal there should be only one ace, one heading per web page. And then, so here's the correct versus incorrect example. We're starting with the incorrect. So the ace one is the world, and then the ace two is the continent. So North America, and talk about North America a bit. And then here I used an ace four heading for the countries like Canada and the USA and Mexico, and then the regions like the provinces, the states, and then you can also dive further to cities and to neighborhood. But as you can see, the age four heading and the age three heading are incorrect here. And the correct way is the countries should be the age three, and the reason age four heading. So you want to uh, uh, to, to, to avoid skipping heading levels, as that will throw off a blind user. And now the next thing to think of is the use of images. And there are two types of images. There are descriptive images that are the logo and a picture that goes with the content of the website, and non-descriptive images such as a a divider or an icon. Have Avoid using flashing images and scrolling text, as the movements of those can trigger, let's say epilepsy in some people, or cause somebody to breathe this oh oh this orange treated, and avoid text in images as screen readers are unable to read them. And when you use the icon, provide a label. So here's an example of what not to use. So here you see a picture of a skier and the word go downhill slalom cross country. For a blind user or a low vision user, that image on its own, it it doesn't mean anything. And so on the other side, here's the ideal. Have a label next to the image type of keying. It is easier and clearer. Next, there are lists. There are unordered lists, items without a specific order, or there is order lists that you go through the sequence. For example here, a grocery item is unordered. It doesn't really matter what the order is. As you can see on the left side here. On the right is an order list with numbers where it's like when you're doing a recipe, you have to follow the order in a particular order. And next up is the use of colors. It's important to make sure that the contrast ratio are correct. For normal text, how the ideal is 4.5 to 1. For large text, it's 3.1, it's 3 to 1. And then for all the UI or the user interface components is 3 to 1. Also, you gotta be mindful of the color users with graph and harsh. For example, here, the one on the left, you can hardly see the 01 as it has a appealing contrast of 1.35. Whereas on the one on the right, it has a higher contrast of 3.5, and it is easier to read. Next are bars and graph. As the one in the left column, they let you know what they represent, but there's no link to which is which. And a person who is colorblind, they won't really know the difference. And whereas the two pies on the right, it has the percentage in the text next to each of the areas. And as you see, well, when you do that, it improves the accessibility and therefore everybody can read it and interpret the graph. Next up is keyboard navigation and tab index. Many users navigate solely with the keyboard, and one of the use key is the tab key. And the tab key will go in order of the element is structured in the back end of a web page. So it will follow from top to bottom and left to right. And for example, also I use a key to avoid users can press the H key to go through all of the headings. So they're to get an overview of the web page of what it's about, especially when they visit for the very first time. Also, it is very useful to have each of the active elements clearly visible. Active elements are links, forms, fields, and buttons. And it is also I deal to keep the focus in view at all times. So a low vision and keyboard, the user will know where they are on the web page. So here's an example of an incorrect way, and hoping this will work. So right now, what I am going to do is to tab through all the links, and you can will follow along with me. I will turn on the screen reader back on. So, so you can see there, I press the tab and focus. It is no longer visible. What has happened is that the I can see here now that the tab it is on it's under the thumb menu, but for a person who use the keyboard won't know that that link has a sub menu. So that's what. So in that last ex- example, the focus at times it went out of view, and that will throw off a keyboard for user and a low vision user. A proper way example is so when it's open, I can press the tab key and it will go into the thumb menu. Whereas the previous example, it just went into the thumb menu without opening it. So this example is a much improved as it keeps the focus on the web page and a key and a keyboard user will know exactly when where they are. Next are the skip to content links that you may have seen them on websites, and the purpose of these links is to enable the keyboard user to bypass the menus. So when you have a website with many web pages, well, one thing that's always standard is the heading and all the links. And when a user has a visit to the website and is used to all the headings and all the links in the main navigation, they can click 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 a ship to the content link, and the screen reader will go directly to the main the content of a web page. Next up are descriptive links and area label. One thing you want to avoid is example like click here, because the screen or a keyboard user along with the screen reader can press the tab key and bypass all the content and go directly to the links. And if each link is click here, you don't know what that means or where that link will take you. And with the use of the area labels, it can provide additional contact for screen readers. So here's example of mobile links. So on this page here, you can see each of my project has a learn more link. And for the other users, they will know exactly what it's about. However, for blind users who rely on the screen readers, if it doesn't provide more more information, they will not know where the link will will take them. A better way is to provide more more content. So here you can, for a screen reader or for the screen reader is providing more information on the link and what is the link. It is it all so out. So we can see that when you provide for more content to links, a low vision user or a blind user will know exactly what is the link is all about. And to wrap it up, implementing a proper HTML structure, correct use of heading, images, icons, colors, and links, as the touch here will improve the accessibility uh, to, to, to have your site dramatically. There are more advanced topics than covered here that can improve the accessibility of a website.
Thank you very much, Ronan, for doing this. Ronan, what has been the response to your accessibility site now?
So, well, that's, well, again, it has been a bit slow, and I've just made that presentation today, and maybe it may help through friends and people who know me a little better what is the web accessibility and how it can play a role
Hmm.
on a
Well,
website.
well,
Yeah,
Ronan, I'm telling you. So we we wish wish you all the luck with with this new venture, and I'm sure that it will be very successful. We really do.
and thank you very much, and hope that you have I hope that you have taken away a lot of information there, and have a better understanding what is the web accessibility.
Oh, definitely, because you see, I've always been a little, a little confused about, what what website accessibility is. But but Ronan, the way that you presented it has sort of uh, helped help help to clarify my understanding much better. So thank you very much.
That's awesome, awesome. Okay,
Okay, thanks a lot, Ronnie. We really appreciate your time and the excellent presentation. It was
thank you
fabulous.
very much,
Thank you.
and have a good night.
Take care, Ronan.
Okay,
Best
bye
of luck.
bye.
And Laura, before we close, would you like to share a little bit about your post? Share a little bit about your post about Some Stutter Luh reaching 100 episodes and about the award that Dr. Polly Decker received.
Ooh, me?
Yes,
Congratulatory
absolutely.
award.
Congratulations to Dr. Paul Decker, who is right here with us in this host session. Let's have a little hand. Good job, Paul.
Thank you.
So Paul's recently been recognized by Memorial University for exceptional community service in the most recent President's Awards that were held just yesterday. He wasn't able to make it to accept the award on his own behalf, so he sent Greg. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Greg?
Oh, definitely, Laura. Yeah. Well, just just being present at this award ceremony yesterday was a real privilege, and thank you again, Paul, for for asking me to go and represent you,
Absolutely.
and then to pick up your award. Oh, the award is beautiful. So I'm sure that Paul will post
Yeah, I'll post some
a
photos
picture
of
his
it.
award.
It's amazing. I didn't realize how
There
large
is currently a photo
the picture
of
is.
that award with Greg holding it on our Instagram page if anybody would like to check that out.
Awesome.
And a high five to Memorial University. It was such an honor being present with all these minds and just to hear about the various research projects happening within Memorial University. So it was a great experience. And thank you again, Paul.
I couldn't think of anybody else to ask a better person to ask than you, Greg, to receive the award. Because
I couldn't think of anyone better either.
You put
It's
so
really
many
been a
hours.
teamwork effort for you two.
Yeah, Greg put so much work behind the scenes into this podcast that doesn't get recognized. Our whole team is bands together based on the sheer interest and passion they have for advocating and being allies for people who stutter. So this is a great way to be recognized for that, and I'm glad you were there to pick up the award. And
Absolutely. And it's a lot of interest and passion. 100 interviews worth, just about.
true.
I mean, that's a real shock. Do you believe that, Paul?
No, I was looking at the
Around
list the
100
other day,
episode.
and I'm looking at all the names. And like I say, I remember all these people. I remember recording these interviews, but it's hard to believe that we've gone through, that we've learned so much from all these different people. Yeah, we're coming up to the 100th recording, so we'll have a special celebration for that. And
the podcast has come a long way.
it has.
Our listeners who are only finding out about Ronan Corr today and who go back to season 1, episode 11 to hear more about the personal side of his stuttering and his lived experience might be shocked to see how little his face moves while he's speaking.
For sure.
And Greg's, because there's just a picture. That was an awkward way to say that. Back in season 1, the podcast was audio only.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, it has been wonderful. Plus, we've only touched the tip of the iceberg. We have plans for a future to evolve it even further.
Some Stutter Luh is brought to you today with help from Memorial University, the Newfoundland Labrador Stuttering Association, and a whole team of volunteers behind the scenes, without whom today's episode would not have been possible.